Avidya, ignorance. Vidya, knowledge, ignorance. I feeling. This is something we need to look at. I feeling. Raga, like. Dvesa, dislike. Same object can create this kind of feeling. Same object. Sometimes it's giving you raga, sometimes it's giving you dvesa. Same object. It's not different objects. Sometimes, most of the time, it comes from the same object. And fear of death are the pains. This is what Patanjali talks about. When he talks about klesha, klesha means what? Pain. He is defining that this, how many other? Ignorance, I feeling, liking, disliking, fear of death. How many? So he or she, Patanjali, has given these 5 as kleshas, as pain. But he says that, avidya is the root cause. Avidya is the root cause of the pain. Avidya is the root cause of pain. From there comes everything else. Like, dislike. When one object gives you like and dislike, every 2-3 hours, the same object gives you like and dislike, eventual cause is what? Eventually it causes pain, isn't it? Because it gives the person confusion. I like and then I dislike. The same concept, the same object. So this causes confusion. And confusion causes pain. And due to what? Ignorance of what this object is actually about. So if eventually at one time this particular vocabulary disappears from your life, I don't know. It disappears. I'm not sure. It disappears. It disappears because when wisdom arises, then this automated thought process, which out of habit comes, I don't know, I'm not so sure. But diving deep inside, we actually know. Many things are known from philosophy. And what is the outcome of philosophy in modern times is psychology. Avidya is the field of following one's kleshas in the states of dormant, thin, scattered or expanded. So, when avidya is dormant, then the person is wise. Right? Because no avidya, not ignorant, dormant. But he said dormant, he didn't say. So thin means more often, it comes up more often. Scattered means more often than not. That means it's part of their particular personality. Avidya. Expanded means all the time. All the time in great ignorance, but could be anyone with any status. Patanjali says, in a very simple philosophy, avidya is, ignorance is, to mistake the non-eternal, impure, that which creates pain, and the non-self for the eternal, pure good itself, and the self. So to mistake something for what it is not is ignorance. In a cosmic level, in a universal level, it is called maya. In a universal level, illusion is called illusion. In a personality, it's called ignorance. Again, remember that the only way to attain any form of wisdom or knowledge of the self is to follow the self, is to follow your own way. You have to, each one of us have to reach the destination through our own path. We can give an ear, understand to anyone, that is alright. But not to follow anyone is the path of yoga. To question is the path of yoga. To question in a reasonable way is the path to yoga. Sometimes we have to respect someone's experience. The whole concept of avidya, from ignorance to knowledge, is not fear of death. It is the love of living. Now this one has to be very clearly understood. If we are living a life which we want to avoid death or the fear of death, that means there is no joy. Live today as it is the first day of your life. How would you feel? How would you feel if you feel that this is the first First day of your life on earth, you are conscious and you are aware, and there are many things which you can understand and you can comprehend. Unlike a baby who is born, who doesn't have anything in his or her consciousness except being conscious. But if you are born with full consciousness, with full awareness, and this is the first day, how would you feel? You will feel like a big joy, isn't it? An absolutely big joy. So therefore, why then? Most of the time, we are subject to unhappiness. Sometimes happy, sometimes. In a day, in 24 hours, people around you, 99% of the people around you have some form of pain and unhappiness. Right? We are put in this world not to be unhappy. That is definitely wrong psychology. We are not put in this world to seek counseling all the time. We are not put in this world to seek some form of motivation all the time. Something is wrong. And that is so easy to understand, and that is called Avidya. You don't have to go for psychological profiling, you don't have to go for some kind of psychiatric treatment, not necessary at all. The moment we understand the philosophy, depth psychology, and all of those therapies can be thrown out of the window. We don't need, because that again becomes another source of dependency, another form of escapism. Every time there is something which can help me for that momentary pleasure, that momentary happiness. But then, why? It cannot be, isn't it? That there must be some strength in us. Cannot be at all equated with anything physical. Cannot be, I'm too big, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too this, I'm too Asian, not all. None of that should come into the picture at all. So if we can make a resolve that I feel in a positive way, I will be happy almost all the time. Almost means what? Why almost? Because when you go to sleep, this I disappears. At that time, it's okay if you're not happy. But waking state need to structure this happiness. And this happiness is not an illusion. Unhappiness, confusion is illusion. Happiness is wisdom. Happiness is self-realization. So we have to make a great determination to keep ourselves happy no matter what happens, because if we do that, then the people around us will feel inspired. All individuals who are moving towards the path of light want to be an inspiration to the rest of the world. Not with ego, but as a contribution. Correct? So now, if that is the entire process of evolution, if the species, if the entire process of why creation has taken place is to evolve into a superior species, superior is not based on ego but based on its efficiency, then that efficiency can only come about with happiness. Who can ever be efficient with unhappiness? Cannot. Your organism will not support. The brain will not achieve its full potential in pain. So it has to be, there is only one path if we look at it scientifically. Let's say we don't want to listen to philosophy, but then you study the entire physiology and the neurology of the body, and you will see that if happiness is infused into that particular organism, then it attains its fittest state. The best state comes when it is infused with happiness. So happiness is Vidya. Unhappiness is Avidya. Are we clear about this? It's a wonderful subject matter, but it continues for a few more verses. Thank you very much. Namaskar.